Today, I want to address the news that the World Surf League has officially made the rule that male-bodied individuals known as transgender athletes can officially compete in the women's division. The World Surf League says they are following the Olympic guidelines. While I address this issue, I want to be clear that I strive to have love for all of mankind, regardless of any differences. But this concerns me as a professional athlete that has been competing in the World Surf League events for the past 15 plus years, and I feel that I must speak up and stand up for those in position that may feel that they cannot say something about this.
This is Ultra Izzy.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the channel. Well, today we're going to discuss this story that I heard a couple of days ago, actually, and we sort of touched on this subject in another video, but it's happening again, and I want to talk about this particular subject. One, because I don't really hear a lot about this sport, and two, I do think that this young lady is being a very good example for people out there. We'll get to more on that here in a minute, but it is pro surfer Bethany Hamilton. If you guys have never heard of her, I first heard of her. I believe there was a movie that came out in 2011 about her. She was the surfer who got her arm bitten off by a shark and ended up being a pro championship surfer after the fact. Christian girl, very very popular amongst other surfers because she had a really good story. One of those beat the odds stories. So very good example for young ladies out there. And she recently came out and put a statement out, and you guys saw a little bit of that there in the intro. But she was speaking on behalf of other surfers in, I believe it's the World Surf Tour or something like that. But yeah, so she, I guess, knows that there's not a lot of people that are going to step up on the behalf of biological women. So it turns out there was a rule change in this World Surf League, and there was a rule change to where they're going to allow biological men to compete in their surf competitions. And we've been seeing a lot of this lately, honestly. It was with the weightlifting, with the ice skating, with the swimming, with the track. I mean, a lot of this has really been sort of coming on very, very strong for like the last 5 or so years. Almost like it's a concerted effort, right? Almost like it's happening on purpose. We'll get to more on that in a minute. But I didn't want to play the full video of hers because I believe it's 3 minutes long, but I will link to it below the tweet where the full, it's like 3 or 4 minutes long. But I will go over some of the questions that she brings up. She does start the video by saying something that I would also like to start by saying. When it comes to videos like these, they could be a little more controversial, okay? She took the words right out of my mouth. I sort of alluded to this in other videos and sort of touched on this a little bit. I like the way she put it, so I will say this for my channel as well. She said, "I strive to have love for all of mankind, regardless of any differences." That's how she started the video, and I will start that with saying that in this video and any videos in the future that deal with this sort of subject, I do strive to love mankind. There's just things in this world that we have to talk about. We have to have a discussion about. We have to have a conversation about, and I think not enough people sort of bring up these conversations with respect and just talk about them, right? Without being shouted down or yelled at. And this is the purpose of the channel. I do like that she started by saying that because that was very, very cool of her to say that, I guess, for lack of a better term. So Bethany is part of the World Surf League, and so she had a couple of questions in her videos, and I'll try to go over those as quickly as possible without having to play you the whole 4-minute clip. But she asked first, she goes, how has this rule played out in other sports? And we've seen in other videos that I've made, or you've seen probably on other platforms or this platform, where the men dominate the women's sports. Whether it's track and field, whether it's weightlifting, whether it's, not so much the ice skating. We went over that video a couple of days ago. But the track, the swimming, a lot of these sports where biological men are being allowed to play and participate, they're getting blown out of the water. And the biggest one recently was the Leah Thomas, who was doing the swimming. And her second question she asked, has any of the surfers in the league been asked their opinions or how they feel about this rule change? And the answer is obviously no. No one contacted her. No one contacted, and there's men and women in the World Surf League. And yeah, apparently none of them were asked their opinions, how they would feel about the thing, because I do believe that they would have gotten backlash, and that's probably why they didn't ask the opinions of other surfers, right? They just went ahead and passed this rule. And if it hadn't passed, it seems like either it has or it's very close to being passed. I'm under the impression that it has already passed, because that's why she's asking. Well, you guys didn't really ask anybody. Y'all just went ahead and did it sort of in the cover of night, you know? And so she's asking that about too. She's asking, should there be a conversation with all men and women? There should be, right? Just, you know, you should have a conversation with all of the other surfers, sit them down in a room, all the men and women, and ask, hey, what do you guys think? Maybe even take a vote, right? I'm assuming there was no vote, because I'm thinking if there was a vote, this wouldn't have happened. But, you know, obviously, I don't know that for sure, but, you know, we all kind of know what the game is here. She asked a very, very great question. This is one that I want to know, and I sort of talked about this here in the intro a little bit ago. Who is pushing for this huge rule change? Who is pushing for it? What? Who is pulling the strings for all of this? All these other sports that are happening, right? We had the ice skating thing the other day, where that one ended up backfiring, and the gentleman fell down on the ice and was humiliated. But who is going around, you know, slowly picking off, right? Slowly picking off different sports, going, you know, put trans men there, put trans men there, put trans men there. It's, again, I'm telling you right now, it seems like it's a concerted effort. You guys can call me tinfoil hat if you want, but it's all too much of a coincidence. Another great point that Bethany brings up is why, and I brought this up in other videos too, that it's always one way. Why isn't it that women are converting into men and then joining men's sports? It's always the guys joining the women's sports and then dominating in those sports, right? But yeah, so she does ask a great question about, you know, why is it always just one direction, right? And that's a great point that she makes. You know, why it never is. It never is the young ladies converting to become men, and then they're out there dunking. Why? Because their bones they have a smaller structure, they have a smaller wingspan, they have less bone density, they have less muscular capacity. I mean, it's basic biology, right? That's why women can't convert to be men and go out there and dominate men's sports. We saw it in the hockey game. You know, there was both out there, men trying to be women and women trying to be men, and a guy who wanted to be a girl barely ran into a woman trying to be a man and knocked her out. Yeah, so another point she brings up in the video is that there should just be a new division for trans, and I believe that's true. And I know all my wokies out there are gonna be like, "Dude, that's bigoted. You're segregating." That is sports. That is sports. We have men's sports. We have women's sports. Yes, we have co-ed sports. Okay, you want to do something like that? We want to do co-ed? Okay, fine. I want to say that hockey league even did that, right? And that for all that clown show that hockey game was, where they had both men and women who were trying to convert either way, at least it was fair. I mean, some could argue that it wasn't fair, but I'm saying at least you went into it knowing what you're getting yourself into. It was almost like a co-ed thing. So, you know, I have, you know, nieces, and a couple of them played sports. One played sports, and one currently plays sports. It would break my heart if one of my nieces lost an opportunity to go to college, scholarship, money, whatever, just a championship, because some guy took it away from her. Some guy who, because the best example we have is that Will Thomas guy, right? He was failing in men's swimming, grows his hair out, keeps all of his bits and pieces, right? Doesn't cut anything off, just identifies as a woman, goes in there, dominates, wins championships, takes away scholarships, takes away money from these biological women who worked really hard to get there. That is not cool. And that is not what I want to have to anyone that I know or any of my family. And this is why I make these videos. Again, this isn't about hate. This isn't about bigotry. This isn't about any of that. This is about truth. It's about fact. It's about fairness. It's it's the world we grew up in, and we can't change it. Okay, again, there should be divisions, right? You want to be trans and you want to do this and that, then fine, go be in a trans division. And again, that's not separating people. That's how sports are. That's just the way it is, guys. But I think what we need, one, I did say this in another video of mine, I need my feminist friends to go up there and stand out, and start defending biological women. You defend women when they want to, do whatever it is with their bodies, and my body, my choice, yada, yada, yada. So please use that same energy and go defend these biological women who want to save their sports. They worked really hard to get there. They deserve a chance to compete in a fair, even playing field. But I would also say to my athletes out there, you guys are going to have to step up. You guys are going to have to step up and speak out, like Bethany speaking for y'all. She said in her message, I'm speaking out because I know that some people will be ostracized. Some people are going to be looked at as haters. Some people are going to be called names because they're speaking out. My friends, I tell you this in the intro, in the outro all the time, be fearless and be free. Try to be fearless. Try to stand out. You don't have to be violent. You don't have to be nasty. You don't have to be dirty. Just use the voice God gave you and speak your truth. And again, I think that some people on the left want us to get violent. They want us to get nasty. Not going to happen. Just have a discussion. Just have a debate. And usually it's the people who don't have much of a debate who end up losing their mind first. So, and that's not, I can't really do anything with that. So, but yeah, ladies, I'm going to need you guys to step up and need you guys to voice your opinions. And if it's going to be, if your sport is going to be dominated by men, then you just need to, don't quit your sport, but just protest, but just walk off. Get all the girls together and just walk off the field, walk off the court, walk off the whatever field of play that you're on, and just walk off. And you can't let biological men take over your sport. You're going to have to fight for it. You fought hard to get where you are. You're going to have to fight for it. So, guys, what do you think about this story? Do you guys think that Bethany is a hero for stepping up and standing out and doing the right thing and defending all these ladies, these biological ladies out there? If you let me know your comments down in the comments below, let me know what you guys think about this story. If you guys think that she's crazy for stepping out, she should really stay in her own lane, let me know in the comments as well. Maybe we can start a debate or discussion down in the comments below. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching another video on this channel. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you like content like this, we do a little bit of everything, a little bit of sports, a little bit of life, a little bit of politics, and try to get some information out to you guys. But thanks again. Again, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Ultra Izzy. You guys can find most of my inspirations for my stories on there, and get more information as well. But guys, like I always say, like I said a minute ago, stay fearless and stay free, and I'll see you guys in the next one.